Hello, I'm Chris Cummings and I'm CEO of Petra Technologies, and we provide rock-solid IT every day. Today I'd like to chat about some troubleshooting of cable internet speeds. Many of us work remotely, so this mainly applies for those that work from home. So the cable providers have several channels that flow through the coax cable like lanes on a freeway. Those channels are all maxed out at 42.88 megabits. So when the cable modems are using a technology of QAM256, that is actually all of these different freeway channels that are actually going through the modem. And so, for example, my modem has 32 channels, which means my equipment can top out at 1.3 gigabits. So when all of those channels are not working, then we have like no data going through the network. But sometimes those channels, sometimes some work, some don't within all of those different channels, and those actually creates a bottleneck in the speed, just like when a lane or two in the freeway is jammed. So the channel speed is the signals that other devices can actually also interfere with. And so if the connectors and the adapters aren't installed properly, this can be a problem. So since every channel has its own frequency, it's also possible that a few frequencies are actually having some of this interference. So before calling your cable provider, ask yourself a few questions. Has there been any recent change in construction or other things around your house recently that you are aware of? Also, have you moved or changed the cable to your modem, your TV, or your cable box recently? Does the problem happen when another device in the house is on or off? So like a light or a fan can cause some interference if there's some improper cabling going on. So another one too sometimes is just like keeping track of the weather outside. Is the problem happening when it's raining or not? Those kind of things. So then you can actually move on to some other physical checks. So like for example, I have here a cable and we can tell that the connector is nice and clean cut. And we want to be able to use some of these really good cables that don't have any frays and visibly clean. And it's also highly recommended that you only use a Y adapter that uses all their connectors. So sometimes you have a device like this, and if you're going to be Ying things off, you want to use all three of them. In this case, 1 in, 3 out. And if you only have 2 things, just get a 2-post version of the same sort of thing. So lastly, you actually want to then check where your cable provider comes into the house. Unplug everything else that does not go to your modem and basically start there. Then once you plug your cable directly into the modem and then you plug your laptop into the modem, then you can run some speed tests and then hopefully you can find out if that's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If it's good, then that is when you're actually going through and you're going to check each piece inside your house one by one, testing along the way to find the culprit. I usually use a website called speedtest.net, and that allows me to find out if I got good speed. If it's still bad, after you're checking right at the modem, then now you can call the cable provider and let them know what you've accomplished, and their tech will need to come out and solve the problem somewhere upstream outside your house, which is usually not a chargeable event. So what you're trying to do is figure out the stuff inside your house, because usually that is when they charge you. So it's a really good idea then to work your way all the way through all the different components, eliminating all the things that are all within your house one by one to make sure you don't have the culprit inside. So there's your tips for your Comcast speed problems. And until next time, find us on Facebook, YouTube, and on the web at Petra Tech IT. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment box down below and I'll address them in a future video. Thanks.